Hey guys, welcome back to Election Center, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my current prediction for how the 2020 Senate elections will go, and how things will look on the senatorial map for the 2020 senatorial elections. So this is something I've yet to do on my channel, any sort of videos about the Senate. So yeah, I'm excited to finally put out my first video about the Senate. Now, I want to jump in here, starting off with, I'll start off with, how about the state of Iowa, which I feel like is a tilt for the Republican nominee. The Democrat has a minor, with all these names, it's hard to sometimes remember the exact name. But the Democrat has a minor lead. But I feel like, based on political direction Iowa's going and Donald Trump winning the state, I feel like the Republican will make just enough of a comeback to win the senatorial race in the state of Iowa. Obviously, I think Illinois will go to the Democrat. In Minnesota, a lot of these states I do not quite remember the candidates' names. Forgive me for that. There's just many states here. So in Minnesota, the Democrat, as I recall, had a large lead of about 10 points or more. Michigan, Gary Peters versus John James. Gary Peters, the Democrat, versus John James, the Republican. Peters with a 9 or 10 point lead. So yeah, I think that's going to go to Peters here in Michigan. Maine, I think that's going to go to the Democrat. Susan Collins, the current senator, and the incumbent senator, and the Republican. Pretty unpopular. I think maybe the most unpopular senator in the country. Surprisingly, it's a tight race, though, despite that. So yeah, Susan Collins. I mean, it's not an extremely tight race. It's like a 4 or 5 point lead for the Democrat. So that's substantial, I guess. But it's not a landslide or anything like that, according to the polls. So yeah, I think this is going to go to the Democrat. Susan Collins, not popular, but not by a landslide or anything. New Hampshire, I believe that is going to go to the Democratic nominee. Same with these other northeastern states here. A lot of these states vote down party lines. Predict Virginia going to go to the Democrat. North Carolina, as I remember, Cunningham, the Democrat, large lead, almost 10 points, I think. Yeah, so I think that's going to go to the Democrat. Texas, the Republican has a 10-point plus lead, or 10 points. According to the Real Clear Politics average, I believe it was a 10-point lead. So yeah, definitely, I definitely think that's going to go to the Republican. And a lot of these other southern states. Georgia, as I recall, I thought those were going to go to the Republican. I know Ossoff, I think his name's Peter Ossoff. His last name's Ossoff. He's running in one of these, but he's behind in the polls. And I think the other one is behind in the polls too, the other Democrat. So yeah. Kansas, some polling, even though the nominees have not been chosen, polls that I've seen suggest that maybe it could be a tight race or a Democrat could even win, but I think that's going to go along party lines and go to the Republican ultimately. A lot of these states going by party lines. Montana, we got a tight race with Steve Bullock, former governor of the Democrat, against the Republican. I cannot remember the name of the Republican right now. But yeah, in Montana, I do believe that the Republican is never going to edge it out based off of the data I've seen. That's just my current prediction, is that Steve Bullock is just going to barely, by a hair, lose the state of Montana. Colorado and New Mexico, the Democrats have large leads, so they're going to win there. In Arizona, Mark Kelly leading Martha McSally by... Mark Kelly's the Democrat, by the way. Martha McSally is the Republican. He's leading by like 8 points, I think, on the average. So, yeah, he's probably going to win there because he's maintained that lead consistently. Oregon's going to go to the Democrat. Alaska, I believe that is going to go to the Republican by a hair. So, yeah, that's my final prediction, actually. It's going to be a 50-50 Senate, but then with Mike Pence, if Donald Trump and Mike Pence win, Mike Pence is going to be the tie-breaking vote as vice president. But then if Joe Biden and his vice presidential nominee, who seems like might be Kamala Harris right now, if they win, then Kamala Harris will be the tie-breaking vote. So depending on who wins the presidential election, I think that they're going to give their party the advantage in the Senate. However, I could be wrong. If I'm just wrong on one of these states, that changes it, right? If they win in Iowa, then they don't need the tie-breaking vote, the Democrats. And then if Republicans win in some other state like North Carolina, then they don't need that tie-breaking vote. But yeah, guys, that is my current prediction. I'm just getting into sort of predicting the Senate. So, you know, for my first video, I think this is a pretty good prediction. So yeah, let me know if you guys want me to maybe in the future go more in depth into the senatorial races and maybe give you more data, maybe remember a few more of those names. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting. If you agree with my predictions, that's good. And if you disagree, I'd like to know why. Maybe I can chat with you in the comments. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting, and I will see you in the next Election Center video. Bye.